connecting your brain and body with interactive games and tests. Why is there no physical activity in today's health physical? Trazer is an holistic technology used to rehabilitate, prevent falls, and improve sport performance. Trazer reports provide you, your clinician, your physical therapist, or athletic trainer objective data to make decisions on your health and performance over time. Measure what matters to change your game. Take the Trazer Challenge. Confidence, growth, connected by Trazer.
Bolt gets out pretty well, so does Rogers come next to him. Gordon comes again to the sideline.
At Fusion Sport, we're all about driving human performance. We develop and support a range of technologies all designed to assist people to be their best. Smarterbase is used by hundreds of elite sporting organisations across the globe, and more recently has been used by the military and performing arts as well.
Our Smarterbase technology has at the heart of it an integrated and connected philosophy. What's different about Smarterbase is that it's truly flexible and self-engineerable. That really puts the power into our customers' hands, and it allows them to use it in unique ways that perhaps we haven't even thought of.
Between ourselves and the rest of the field, but here comes Jemmy Stone.
What's going on, everybody? Your man Eric Wilson in for the Sports Arena, and yes, I'm getting ready here for the postseason because the WNBA postseason officially kicks off tomorrow, and you know me, your boy is in full Chicago Sky gear. Let me go ahead and get the crew in here. Let me welcome back. Haven't seen her in a minute, but I know she's excited to be here. Our girl, Miss Megan Price, is back with us. What's up, Megan?
How you doing? How you doing?
Oh, I see the shirt. Okay, we got some stuff to talk about.
We're not
here.
friends tomorrow. We're not friends tomorrow.
We're not friends tomorrow. We're not friends on Monday night. I mean,
right.
Twice in 5 days, I get to go against the Queen of Hoops, Miss Megan Price. But it is good to have you back. Welcome back. I know you've been grinding hard, working on them Dallas Wings. So we're going to get to them in just a moment. But let me get our man, Fox Sports 1340 AM, John Shears in the building. What's up, John?
Hey, oh man, we got a nice show tonight. We got a lot going on. I'm excited.
We got a lot to talk about. John, hang around for a minute, my brother, because Miss Megan Price and I need to have a conversation. You might have to referee this one. I don't know. So let me ask you first, Megan, before we even get started. So the WNBA playoffs officially kick off tomorrow, and the first matchup right out the gate is your Dallas Wings taking on, I'll call them, they're my Chicago Sky. So
for sure, yours.
I don't like the single game elimination. And I want
I feel the same way. I want to see at least a 3 or 5 game series. Doesn't necessarily have to be the 7 game series, but 3 to 5, I would love that.
Yeah. Okay. So we on that same page. Now that we got that out the way, listen, I will give all props to Arike because what that guard is able to do on any given night is truly going to be something to behold. But she does realize that this team has been in this situation before. Last year in the wubble, in my backyard, the Chicago Sky really, I think, just they had a lot of pieces that weren't truly there. Now you take Candace Parker coming home, and you've seen what this team is able to do at full strength. I have to ask you, being a Dallas Wings, contributor as far as talking to them and having them, what is the mindset of the Wings, knowing that they're coming into Wintrust Arena tomorrow?
I saw a video from yesterday, and Mariah Mabry was talking about, you can be young in the playoffs, but nobody cares if you're young in the playoffs. And I felt like that was just a great quote that, you can go into these situations, and because, like she's saying, our entire team is extremely young. We don't have anyone that's Candace Parker's age. We don't have anyone that is the Vanderquigs age. We don't have that. An extremely young team, but it doesn't matter. It's the playoffs, and it's do or die right now, and that's the mind frame that they have to have. Are they going to be able to contain the Vanderquigs? Is that even a containable situation? And then Candace Parker has been playing crazy good right now. So, and there's a ton of other pieces that you guys have, and just a really talented squad. And so, when we both made the playoffs in the order that we made the playoffs, I was like, oh man, we're going to have to play Chicago, So I knew that was going to be tough right out the bat. But whether it's you guys or the Mercury or even the Liberty, like that lower half right there in the playoffs is tough. Like the Liberty, they got Rookie of the Year. And then they also have Sabrina. So, they have a lot of pieces, and they're growing, and they're young too, and they're very capable. It's a tough first round, and I wish we could see at least a 3-game series out of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, give me at least best of 3. I do not like, again, I don't like these single game eliminations, and I hope that I hope the entire WNBA rallies together and says, listen, we're putting out the product. We need more than just one game. I get it in the NFL, and you have to each and every week. It's a very physically demanding sport, not taking anything away from what the basketball side, the WNBA is, but you're right. But you've got Charli Collier. You've got
happy birthday.
Chelsea.
It's her birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Charli. You've got Chelsea Dungy.
Right.
I mean, I'm looking top to bottom at your list, and I'll tell you what. Now, answer me this just so I know. Satu Sabali, she will be playing tomorrow night.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Expect to see her. And she's good. She's good to go. So we will see her tomorrow. And then, a walk also is going to be there. And I think she's made a presence. It took some time for her to get there because she's not from America. So it took, as we know, it took some time for the overseas players to be able to play this season because it was an Olympic year. So, it was different. And I think she's made a great impact as well. And don't forget about Alicia Gray, gold medalist, greatness.
Believe me. We got a gold medalist of our own in Stephanie Dolson. So, I mean,
I'm not knocking her. It was that 3-on-3 competition, and they're so dominant and they're so good. When we were at the All-Star game, and I asked Candace a question, or I think somebody else asked Candace a question, and it was about Arike. And she was like, a lot of people are asking me the same question, but we play Dallas all the time. We know about Arike. We know about Alicia. Like, we know this team has some high-powered shooting. We need to work on our defense, but I think that's exactly what we did in our draft. A walk can play defense. Charli can play defense. And while I absolutely believe Michaela got the Rookie of the Year award, and she completely deserved it. It was unanimous. Completely deserved it. Charli made a run. She did. She had an excellent rookie season.
No, you're right. She absolutely did. And I was very surprised when I saw it was unanimous. I thought for sure that there might have been one or two.
She deserved it.
No, don't get it twisted. She did. She absolutely did.
She got was it 4 in a row or 3 months in a row Rookie of the Month? So she put that work in.
No, exactly. When I look at this, I will say, and yes, this is somewhat of a biased opinion. I think we have, as far as the depth goes, I feel that this team, the Sky, have the best depth. because
Right.
you've got to realize you've got Diamond DeShields coming off the bench, Stephanie Dolson, who we just talked about. Lexi Brown is a shooter who we have yet to see her tap into what that girl's capable of doing. You've got Ruthie Hebert, and of course you got the rookie and Dana Evans, who gives Sloot some time, Courtney Vandersloot some time to kind of, get her legs back underneath there if necessary. But the one thing was, I asked Courtney because she's only averaging 7 points against Dallas. In the 3 matchups, she only averaged 7 points against Dallas. Now, granted, she averaged 11 assists, 4 rebounds. And I asked her, I said, Court, I said, are you going to be the facilitator tomorrow night, or are you going to call your own number? And she's like, Eric, I got to roll with the hot hand. So then I followed that up with, okay, how many times are you going to hear me yell Vanderquigs from the stadium, which is basically the assist from Courtney to Allie popping the 3? And she's like, I hope a lot. So I appreciate that response, but I'm so excited for tomorrow. Megan, I wish you could be there.
I wish I was there. I just have family stuff going on, and that takes
I got you.
But I wish I could be there. If make it to the next round, I'm going to do everything in my power to be there.
Well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but you ain't making it to the next round. I'm saying that, but so we're one-on-one here.
I know the caliber team that we're playing. I know we just like Candace said, like we know who we're playing. Like these teams deserve to be there. We play each other all the time. And we know what we're dealing with, and it's going to be a great game. It's going to be a tough game, and I feel like I feel like they're pretty closely matched, and I expect to see us within a 5 to 6 point differential, if not a 1 to 3.
Yeah, this game's coming down to the wire. I already can foresee that. The balance that exists between these two teams is uncanny. And it's one of those things where they say styles make fights.
Right.
Knowing that this is the first matchup, this is what's going to set the tone for the rest of the playoffs. So I know everybody's going to be watching this. So I'm taking the Sky. You're taking the Wings. John Scherer, we need to know which side of the fence are you on, brother?
I think ultimately the Chicago Sky end up winning by about 7. I think they pull away at the end. They win by about 7 because of Candace Parker.
Yeah, she's having a great. Ever since she's come back from that injury, she's been playing great. So, and there was something, and I know you're probably not going to like this, but it was on Hard Knocks, and it's a Jerry Jones quote. But he was talking about Dak, but I liked what he had to say because it just had a lot of meaning to it. And he said that you can draft on abilities, you can draft on speed, you can draft on all physicalities, but you can't draft heart. And I think that goes to any sport. That heart makes a difference in playoffs. And I think that physicality, they're evenly matched. But when it comes down to it, it's just who's gonna have more heart for the situation.
Oh, there's no question about it. We always say you can't teach height and you can't teach speed. I guess that's the third thing. You can't teach heart. You really can't. I'm excited for tomorrow. I'm really excited to actually be in the building and watch this because I got to be up close and personal. There was no way I was not going to be there for this. I just like you. I wish it was a 3-set. And again, my condolences because they come in with everything and then some. They're going to bring the house.
I know it's going to be a tough game. I know it's going to be a tough game.
If they can find a way to contain Arike and just disrupt her,
but you know what? Arike is on her way to breaking the most consecutive games with double-digit scoring. So I don't know that contain is the right word. And I said the same thing about the Vanderquigs. I don't know if contain is the right word, but just keep them from running away with it because we seen what Arike can do at the All-Star game.
If we get out to a fast start, that might hurt you. But all right, let's move on. Ty got stuff going on. Mike, I'm sure, may pop in for a minute. Alex is getting himself set up. But let's talk a little NFL because we did find out today that Antonio Brown has been placed on the COVID-19 list. So, John, what does this mean for him, or what does this mean for the Bucs as they get set to face the Rams?
I mean, they still have a lot of weapons, which is insane that you could say that Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Gronk has been playing really well. He's the second highest graded tight end according to Pro Football Focus so far this year next to Travis Kelce. He's actually only 0.2 points on the rating, away from tying Travis Kelce for highest graded tight end so far through 2 weeks, which is crazy because he has 4 touchdowns. But anyway, they have a lot of weapons. So Antonio Brown had, I believe, 1 catch for a couple yards for about 4 yards against the Falcons. They didn't need him then. This game, they might need him because, I mean, you're playing the Rams, you're going to LA. I think they probably end up losing this game with or without Antonio Brown. I think LA is that good of a team, and Tampa Bay's not going undefeated. And they looked a little shaky in both games at points versus the Cowboys and even versus the Falcons. There was points where they looked shaky. So I think against this Rams team, we're going to be buttoned up. I think this will hurt, but ultimately I think the Rams would have beat them regardless.
See, I still have to say, as much love as I am unfortunately giving Matthew Stafford now, because I had to admit I was wrong. His time in Detroit was not his fault. I just feel like Tom Brady, he's from California. So when he goes home, sometimes he likes to put on a show and put a little extra on it because he knows that family and friends are making their way. Plus, it's where the Super Bowl is going to be played in SoFi Stadium. And if you ever wanted to give people a taste of what's to come, why would you not show up and show out in SoFi Stadium, like I said, where Super Bowl 56 is going to be held? Listen, to all your points, John, he's still got Gronk, he's still got Evans, he's still got Godwin, he's still got Cameron Brate, he's still got O.J. Howard, he's still got Leonard Fournette running the rock. The pieces are there. What I am very curious to see is how these defenses, both the Rams and the Bucs, stack up, because that's where I feel we're going to see what is going to become of these two teams. Listen, Aaron Donald's going to be Aaron Donald. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Ramsey, he's going to be Jalen Ramsey.
Brady thrown near Jalen Ramsey.
I think he's got to show up and show out, because we've seen performances where he didn't show up and show out. And I think Jalen Ramsey is going to be one of the pieces that absolutely has to have a great game in order for them to win.
Okay.
I mean, like you said, Darnold going to do, he's going to do him.
Right.
He's going to do him.
Right. But
the last time Brady played the Rams in the Super Bowl, he only scored 13 points. So it's not like he lit up, Aaron Donald and his defense.
Okay, but that was Brady played the Rams when? Back in
the Super Bowl a couple years ago.
Oh, right.
13-3. 13-3.
But they whole different leadership. They got a whole different quarterback right now. They got a different mind frame right now. I see the Rams winning this game.
13.
Wow. So I got 2 for the Rams so far.
I do. I think it's the Rams. And because they're in Cali. That's why.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Now, if they were in Tampa, I would say the Bucs. That hometown crowd, and just they're running off being the reigning champion right now, so that's going to make a difference.
Like I said, I mean, the Bucs have looked a little shaky both weeks. They've had, I mean, they very well could have lost either or both games. That's how they let the Falcons get a lot closer than they should have.
Right.
They let the Cowboys get a lot closer than they should have. They should have handled both games, and they toyed around, and both teams gave them a run for their money. So they can't do that against this Rams team. You're not going to do that against Sean McVay.
His ears must have perked up because Alex Fleming has officially joined us here tonight. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I had a funny feeling someone was talking about my Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
John and Megan seem to think that even without Antonio Brown, and because it's being played in Los Angeles, the Rams are going to beat the Bucs. So, sir, I'm going to give you the floor on this one and kind of maybe, just maybe, set the two of them straight. But
okay, I hope I have everyone's attention. Do you remember back in 2019 when Jameis Winston had no chance in hell of flying to L.A. before they got that beautiful stadium and beating those Los Angeles Rams? And he didn't have Rob Gronkowski, and he didn't have Antoine Winfield, and he didn't have a Tristan Wirfs to cover his front side. Well, now you have Tom Brady, who's the bona fide certified game manager, who's about to break Drew Brees' all-time passing yards record, who has Chris Godwin, Mike Evans on the same page, Jalen Darden that I didn't even mention yet, 2 backs that can go, Leonard Fournette and Ronald Jones and Rob Gronkowski as a security blanket. Plus, a lot of that secondary went to Cleveland, if you didn't know. Troy Hill's no longer with that team. You only have Jalen Ramsey. That's why I expect a big game out of Chris Godwin. Now, yes, Antonio Brown would have been icing on top of his cake, and he wouldn't be talking out the side of your mouth. But since Antonio Brown isn't in this game, I expect an explosion. I expect a fight. But I still expect the team that's been averaging 30 points a game for 10 games straight to go inside SoFi Stadium, give a good fight to the Rams, and come out with a W. We are on a mission to go undefeated, and the Rams are only in our way.
I mean, they can catch that W, but they're not catching 30 points. They lose in that record that day.
Wow.
That to me, that's fast. They might catch that W. I think they're very close teams, but they're not getting 30 points on the Rams. It's not happening.
Okay.
It's funny you mentioned this because I wrote a piece that's going to be out tomorrow. I'm going to send it to Eric, but this is an NFC Conference Championship game preview. These are the best two teams in the NFC. The San Francisco 49ers are a fraud. They beat the Lions and the Eagles. As far as I'm concerned, I am really not worried about those kitty cats because they still got to see us in the division. So as far as I'm concerned, it's just us and the Rams because sooner or later, the Cardinals are going to fall off. Very explosive offense, very questionable defense. The Rams have the tools to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I said this before the season even started. This is just a taste of what we're going to see in January.
So, Alex, I do have a quick question. So you're giving a lot of love to Tampa, which I truly expect, and you're giving it to the Rams. Even though he looked piss poor week one, you're not showing any love to the potential Green Bay Packers because it was only one game. They did come back, and they wound up being the Green Bay that we expected them to be. This was a team that went 13-3 last year, and a lot of us have them winning this division. So you're not giving the Green Bay Packers any love as far as getting back to the NFC Championship game?
Hell to the no.
Okay.
Look, Green Bay is going to win their division. I'll give them that. But do you see them going to SoFi the way that they played against the Saints week one? Oh, and plus, that defense is soft. I'm thinking on a sluggo, you could burn teams, bro. That defense is questionable at least. And I'm not questioning Aaron Rodgers. No, the offensive side of the ball isn't the problem. The defense is.
All right. Fair enough. So let's move on. I got another question, Mr. Fleming, since we have you. I'm not sure how long we have you for, but let me ask you this. It did come out today, and you brought it to our attention, that finally, week 3, Justin Fields is getting his start against the Cleveland Browns. So, Alex, how are you feeling about this?
Long overdue. It should have been week 2, and it technically was week 2 because Andy Dalton, broke a toenail or something. Look, Andy Dalton had no business being the starter, but he was named the starter before they drafted Justin Fields. So that's why I said week 2 and not week 1. You saw how ineffective he was against the Rams. He couldn't get anything going. Justin Fields scored the touchdown 3 plays after he got into the game. Justin Fields is the future of Chicago. He gives that team a different dynamic and a different dimension on offense. Did you see the way that the defense perked up when he was starting in the football game and he relieved Andy Dalton? Did you see that we were down a touchdown and then we won by 3? Yeah, that's not by accident. Justin Fields is the future. As far as I'm concerned, if he beats Cleveland, Andy doesn't get his position back.
All right.
Do they beat the Browns, though?
Yeah, I mean,
do they beat the Browns?
Do they
Go ahead,
beat
John.
the Browns?
Yeah.
No,
That's a good.
no, they
that's
they
the
don't
week
beat
3
the
question.
Browns. They don't beat
Okay,
the Browns.
That
Go on,
is
Alex.
the question. That is the question. I don't like the fact that we're missing both of our offensive tackles, but I do believe that the Cleveland Browns have a problem with mobile quarterbacks, i.e. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. I don't know if they beat the Browns, but something tells me, just a funny feeling, that they're going to beat that sloppy team from Cleveland on Sunday.
See, I just don't see it. I mean, Justin Fields, as talented as he is, we saw how raw he still is. I mean, he's new to the NFL. He's new to the game, the speed of the NFL. We saw that even against the Bengals. Now, I know he didn't get the first team reps and he came in, short notice in that game. But we saw how new the speed is for him to the NFL compared to preseason. It's going to take him time to warm up, and the Browns' defense is no joke. And I think they're going to send a lot of pressure at this young man. And, yeah, he can run the ball, but it's going to take time for him to really, kind of adjust to the speed. And this week isn't it for him. And so Cleveland's they're going to walk all over the Bears. The Bears just aren't close to the talent that the Cleveland Browns have, even without Jarvis Landry.
Au contraire, bonjour. You do know that Baker Mayfield was injured in that game against the Houston Texans, right? Now, let's be honest with each other. Houston Texans, Chicago Bears. Who's got the better roster? Just be honest with me.
The Browns?
Cleveland
Browns
has
have way better roster.
Between the Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears, who
The
has
Bears.
the better roster?
The Bears defense is legit. Now they do need to tighten up, but I see this being a battle of defenses. Baker can leave something to be desired. I'm not just completely sold on him being that, but the run game is ridiculous in Cleveland. So, it doesn't require Baker to be the best quarterback in the league, but their defense, both of those teams' defenses are legit now. So it's going to come down to which defense is better.
If you ask me, okay, if we're talking strictly defenses, I got to go with the Bears defense. I think the Bears defense is better than Cleveland's defense.
I think that it comes down to, just Garrett is ridiculous,
So is Khalil Mack.
He is. No, absolutely.
He's not the same guy. He's not quite the same guy he was a couple years ago. At least we haven't seen it in a while.
And,
at least what
maybe
it used to
be. The game for it. Maybe this will be the game for it, but I'm going to say Browns, but I'm going to say it's going to be a close game. I think they're pretty evenly matched offensively and even defensively, but it's going to come down to a defensive battle, in my opinion. I see the Browns on top, but close game, maybe 3-point difference.
I can't root for those dirty Cleveland swamp steamers. But I do see this being a close game, but I think the Bears pull it off because Baker's going to make foolish mistakes.
Okay.
Yeah, but see, in the same breath, Alex, I have to say, as a rookie, Justin Fields could make those same kind of sloppy
Yeah, exactly. That's why I have them evenly matched. Like Baker's not the greatest quarterback out there, and Justin Fields is new. He like John said, it's a faster pace. It's only week 3, so he hasn't had really a whole lot of time to adjust yet. Thank goodness we do not have to look at Andy Dalton this week. Thank you. Thank you.
Agreed.
All right. With that, we're going to take a real quick break. When we come back, more with the Sports Arena. We'll be back in just a moment.
Generation Physical Therapy has been the Tri-State's leader in physical therapy services for over 20 years. And now we have a convenient location right in the heart of the capital city of Charleston, just off I-64. With convenient parking and flexible hours, your access to physical therapy is second to none. Plus, Snap Fitness is also in sight with 2 floors of gym equipment and sports enhancement training through A-Game Sports Performance. So whether you're needing hands-on physical therapy or looking to get results in our gym, our family's ready to help yours. Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness. Multiple services, multiple locations. Experience you can count on.
Carousel, this the carousel. On or you off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out. Carousel, 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 this the carousel. On or you're off, either you're on or you're off, either you're on or you're off. What? Knock 'em out.
And welcome back to the Sports Arena. Man, Eric Wilson alongside 806 Sports and the Sip Off, Miss Megan Price, Dallas Wings contributor. Sorry, who's going to lose tomorrow night? John Shear, 1340 AM, Cardiac Kane, Fin Fanatic, and Sideline Sports Network, and of course, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, and the NSPN. And quick side note, be on the lookout next Monday or next Tuesday. Magic Perspective back at the Amway Arena. In case y'all forgot, just real quick, here's a clip. Just letting y'all know that we back in the house.
The NBA is back.
Yes, I know. We are less than a month away from the NBA, so it's going to be really interesting to see how this new look Orlando Magic team is going to be. Alex and I will be able to talk more about that after Monday because media day is with the Magic. So I want to stay in the NFL though, because Cam Newton still has not found a new home as of yet. And there have been some questions about where he might wind up. Some people have said Miami because Tua has cracked ribs. Some people have said, well, if Big Ben can't play, why doesn't he go into Pittsburgh? Some people have said, hey, Houston's available. Why not go be a part of the Texans and maybe, just maybe, give this team something to actually get behind and move forward, even though the Houston Texans are, what, 1-1 right now? Or they're 1-1. So, I mean, Mike, you're out the door already.
1-2.
So, okay. So Alex is already calling.
Aggressive.
But let's hold off on that on a second. Cam Newton. Who's going to be the one to offer him the right deal to make him decide to go play in the NFL again? John Shear, let me ask you.
I mean, I think that right now Pittsburgh just makes so much sense with what's going on with Ben Roethlisberger. I mean, he is, that pectoral injury is no joke. They expect him to play, but they don't know how limited he's going to be. They don't know what kind of arm strength he's going to have. There's so many question marks. That's why I think Cam Newton would fit perfectly. Dwayne Haskins is not the guy if Ben Roethlisberger has to miss any time. Cam, I think he'd bring something different than Ben brings, but I think at least he would be reliable, and you wouldn't have to worry about a Mason Rudolph or a Dwayne Haskins, whether they can help keep you afloat. I think Cam Newton could help keep you afloat until Ben Roethlisberger gets back. And we don't even know if Ben Roethlisberger can stay healthy even when he gets healthy. So having a guy like that, if Cam can buy in, which has been the biggest factor, is him buying into a team and being the backup or filling in if somebody gets hurt, you got to be a team player. And if he's willing to do that, he can find a spot somewhere. He can find a spot in Pittsburgh, which would be perfect because they can stay afloat if he can do that. But got to check your ego at the door.
I mean, but he just came from New England, a place where you definitely
got cut.
Well, you definitely don't have an ego. So, I mean, Belichick will remove you for breathing the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So I feel
he did
like
get removed.
And he got removed. And, he got removed.
I think there were a lot of other external factors that weighed into that. I do think
it was like mutual, but he definitely was able to move on from that team and realize like, hey, I'm not going to fit in here. Is he going to have that same type of mind frame and be able, because he definitely could have came to Dallas and been a backup. I really think that option was there. I think Jerry was, because I mean, look at who we signed, look at who we signed. Like we could have easily signed Cam, but he didn't want to come in and be a backup. I think
that ego, man.
Exactly. No, I completely agree. It's that ego. I do think Houston, it could work there, but I think he best fits with Pittsburgh.
Alex, what say you?
Yeah, go.
I'm not disagreeing with Pittsburgh. I'm not, but the best fit is Miami. Hear me out. He just came from New England. They could use that playbook strategy in Miami. Tua is a halfway mobile quarterback. Brissett isn't mobile. They could use a mobile quarterback in Miami, considering the schedule that they have. Plus, you don't have to get vaccinated in Florida. We're free down here in Florida. If you don't want to go to Walgreens and get that shot, you want to command the offense where you don't have to throw the ball all the way down the field unless you're going with the deep strike with Jalen Waddle and an offensive line that can halfway protect you. I think Miami has a better offensive line than Pittsburgh and definitely better than that swamp tramp in Houston. Miami's the real answer.
Miami definitely can't halfway protect you. They can't protect anything. Just so you know, they cannot protect anything. Their starting running back had a 14 grade from Pro Football Focus for blocking on Sunday. 14. That's terrible. Their line was an average of about 35 for pass blocking on Sunday. That's not good.
And to park on that point, what does Pittsburgh Steelers have? Not one, not two, but three wide receivers that like to go vertical. I think the person who goes the shortest out of all three would be Juju Smith-Schuster because he's the possession receiver. Claypool likes deep strikes. Deontay Johnson likes deep strikes. Cam can't throw deep. That's why Pittsburgh wouldn't necessarily be a good fit. Plus, you don't need a quarterback controversy because if Cam is in Pittsburgh and he starts winning games, now we got all this hoopla about who the starter should be and let Big Ben have some time to rest his pectoral. Miami is the clear-cut answer.
Yeah, but Big Ben is starting to look like Peyton Manning did in his last year in Denver, where he's just falling apart right before our eyes. That's the thing. Like, they have to be realistic and say, we have to have something if he goes down again. He already was down, previously for the season. Now, he's already got this at the beginning of this season. If they really think they're going to be contenders, they got to have a backup plan.
I think the problem with the Miami pick is that Miami is so interested in Deshaun Watson still. Like, I think that they would probably rather get Deshaun Watson than Cam. Do I agree with it? Do I think it's the right way to go? No, but Miami seems to show the most interest in him.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Miami is still the spot for Deshaun Watson, but they don't want to give up all those picks without some type of confidence or backup.
But
they're not giving that in Houston.
Tyrod Taylor looked way better than we expected in those first two games before this injury. How severe is the injury? Do y'all know?
He's going to be gone for 3 to 6 weeks.
3 to 6 weeks. So if you have something that you already have on your roster that you're not too worried about, you might be willing to get. I think Deshaun Watson's trade value plummeted when Tyrod Taylor started playing well.
But there's two things. The Texans, first of all, aren't budging. They actually, I believe, want 6 picks from what I – 5 or 6 picks. But yes, yeah. The problem is it's not the picks because teams are willing to give that up. The Dolphins are willing to give that up, but the Texans won't give protection if something happens to Watson legally. That's what the teams want. That's what the Dolphins want. They want protection, basically saying we want our picks back if Watson goes to jail or can't play or whatever. We want it back. If we get Watson and you can't guarantee us anything, we don't want to give up 5 or 6 picks in Tua. If they guaranteed that, the Dolphins would have been all in.
Okay. All right. Well, with that being said, I do want to move on to the Thursday night game because, like I said, it is the Carolina Panthers sitting at 2-0, tied with Tampa Bay in the NFC South. Just had to throw that out there, Alex. Facing the Houston Texans, who are 1-1. So, again, Mike Aratunuto was wrong in saying this team would go 0-17. But I want to ask everybody, and John, I'm just going to come right back to you. When you look at this matchup, two teams that we did not expect to be in the positions that they're currently in. What do you like about this game, and what do you don't like about this game?
I like everything for the Panthers. I mean, defensively, they've been the best team in football this year. Now they played the Jets, granted, but they did play Jameis Winston, the MVP. You know, they played him week 2, and you saw what they did to him. So this defense is legit. They got a lot of talent. I've been saying this, they're young and up and coming defense, and they're going to give David Mills, whatever, they're going to give him fits tomorrow night. If it's Tyrod Taylor, maybe they're able to game plan around that defense a little bit. But with Mills being in, I mean, that guy has no chance against this defense. They're going to eat him alive. The only chance the Texans have is to really establish that run with all the running backs they have. But I think Carolina's just too explosive, and they win by 2 touchdowns.
Wow, Carolina by 14. Miss Megan Price, what about you?
I definitely think the Panthers win this game. The CBS Sports put their power rankings out yesterday, and the Panthers were the ones that moved up the most. They moved up 12 spots. And, you know, like John said, that we knew that defense was up and coming. We knew that going into this season. And Texans just don't have enough for that now. With Tyrod Taylor, I definitely think that they could have made it a game before he got injured. It looked like a shootout between him and Baker. So, you know, that was an interesting game, but they're without him, and I think that makes all the difference right there.
All right, so Alex, this is a team, referring to the Carolina Panthers, that is in your division with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But we didn't expect the Houston Texans to come out and play like they have. Is there, I mean, of course, the obvious answer is yes, but I kind of want to peel back the layers a little bit with you, sir, and say the Houston Texans have surprised people about how they've played thus far. Granted, it's only been 2 weeks. Do you think they pull out a W at home tomorrow night?
Why do I no. No. Okay, look. The fact that they were even in the game against Cleveland was an aberration, and the coach killed that by declining the 4th down penalty. Defense matters, and that defense is beautiful for the Carolina Panthers, and they're going to clown Davis Mills. The only chance, as John mentioned too, is that running game that is potent in Houston. Other than that, they need Jesus, Jerry Rice, and Lawrence Taylor to even make this a game. Panthers by, if not 2, maybe 3 touchdowns.
Wow. So
can I get that like on a shirt, please? Like, I feel like that'd be fantastic on a shirt. I would buy that shirt in a heartbeat.
Jesus, Jerry Rice, and Lawrence Taylor.
All that.
Okay. We need to get that made. We need to get that made because
I would wear that.
Something. Yeah, I think I would
wear
that. Listen, I can't ignore the fact that on short weeks, sometimes what we think is improbable actually does come to fruition. Mm-hmm. So I'm not totally sold on Houston losing by 2 or 3 touchdowns when they have shown that, as bad as they may appear to be on paper, they're still an NFL football team and they have remained in games. I don't expect this to be a blowout. I would give them, at best, 1 touchdown, maybe, Doc, maybe 8 points, but I can't go 10 or 14 when it comes to what they have done so far. And listen, yes, Sam Darnold got out of New York, well, the Meadowlands, New Jersey. He got out from under Adam Gase. He goes to a place that actually respects him and allows him to be a quarterback that we had put, we had given him a lot of expectation coming out, and it didn't prove to work. But now he's got a chance to, kind of resurrect himself. I just don't. I want to be true to myself and say you can't automatically just cast aside what Houston has been able to do. Will they win this game? Probably not. But by 14, by 21, I got to see that. And as always, as I say, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I can't go no more than 7 points, maybe 8.
I think the difference there is that we're not talking that they're down 1 quarterback. They're down 2 quarterbacks. So they're down to their 3rd string. And I think that
Okay.
makes that big of a difference.
But Megan, if I may, last year in wild card weekend of the playoffs, we saw a third string quarterback go up against a top-notch defense in Tyler Heineke and the Tampa Bay
Yeah.
Bucks. You know what I'm saying? It's when you
Is
get your
Mills
moment, what do
Heineke
you
though?
do?
I've been telling y'all about Heineke. Like Mills is not him.
I don't know. Alex, I know your disdain for Houston as a whole, not for individual players, but as a whole. And Carolina, you're keeping a very close eye on because they are a team that is, as John said, up and coming. But in this matchup, this is an opportunity for them to kind of let the Bucks know, we know you're going into hostile territory. We know you're down one of your all 22 guys. If they set the tone, which you are saying they're going to do, and beat the Houston Texans, that puts the pressure on your Buccaneers to really show up on Sunday against the Rams, does it not?
No pressure at all. I don't know where you're getting this pressure from. Here's what y'all fail to understand.
Okay.
The Panthers haven't played the Buccaneers yet. There's absolutely no pressure. Until the Panthers come and see us, there is no pressure. You have to win your division because the Panthers are going to falter due to the fact that Sam Darnold can't be trusted and that defense is young. Until they come see us, there is no pressure.
Au contraire, my friend.
Thank you, John.
Didn't the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the Super Bowl without winning that division last year?
Yes, but who won that division? The New Orleans
Saints.
Saints, exactly. And the Saints right now are in third place in that division,
And the
dealing with
Saints
Jameis and a lot of
swept you
changes.
last year in the regular season. So if you sweep the Panthers and the Panthers come in second, Panthers have a shot at doing the same thing. Not that I'm saying they're going to, but I mean the Bucks did it, so we see it's possible.
Well, I mean, anything's possible. Hell,
No, I'm
people are
just
still
saying
wearing masks.
from what we saw last year, you know, the Bucks got swept, and we didn't think they could compete with the Saints, and they went to New Orleans and they said, "Hey, this is our game." So, I mean, just because they don't win the division doesn't mean that the Panthers can't necessarily hang with the Bucks. I'm just
Alex,
saying.
I believe you were in the process of writing an article last year called 52 Pickup, and that spoke about how Tampa Bay, through their adversities, bringing in the GOAT and putting a bunch of players into a system that maybe not a lot of them were aware of, were still able to prove to be a dominant force. So I do find it very interesting that, you know, you respect what Carolina has done thus far, but in the next breath you're saying, but they still haven't seen Tampa. Well, Alex, if the record is going to be the determining factor at the end of the day, with regards to seeding and with regards to who gets home field. Now, listen, we've been to Ray J. You and I have. We know what that place is like, especially now. I can only speak for being in Lincoln Financial, being in Miami Dolphins Stadium, and knowing what home crowd reaction is like, especially during a playoff game or a game of major caliber, if you will. Carolina has that opportunity, and you still are saying there's no pressure because they haven't played Tampa yet. So what if all of a sudden Tampa falls on Sunday and Carolina does beat Houston, as all of you, and I mean, in some regard, yes, I'm saying the same thing, then they jump to first place. Do you know what momentum does? Momentum
We're in week 3. Guys, pump the brakes. It is week 3. We have 13, technically 14 more games to play. They have not played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They still haven't played those sorry old Falcons yet. And they still got to face the Saints in the last week of December / beginning of January. They look good. They're up and coming. They're not quite ready for prime time. And until they face the Bucks, we are not worried about division records.
All right. I don't want this. I don't want that statement, sir, to come back and bite you at a later time, because you know, if it does, we all gonna come at you. Like,
and I was sleeping then, I'm sleeping now.
Fine. Fair enough. Fine. I got you. You know what?
I swear,
ahead, man.
Alex, you could have your own line of like catchphrases and apparel and like action figures and all that stuff. You could just like market all that stuff because everything you say is like extremely marketable.
He needs to. He needs to. But I'm claiming you need to be drug tested. Alex may have started it, but I'm saying that needs to be a joint effort from all of us because at one point in time or another, we've all said that. Granted, it did start with Mr. Fleming. I can't take credit for it, but it is probably one of the best sayings out there. So, all right, we've all made our picks. John, you said by 2 touchdowns. Alex, you said by 3 touchdowns. Megan is saying that Carolina's going to win. I am giving the nod to Carolina. I'm just not giving it to them by a large margin.
I was going to say, don't be like Mike was on Monday and pick the Lions over the Packers. Like, don't throw away your record, man.
Such a strange pick.
But here's the thing. Alex made a very valid point. When we all unanimously pick the same team, especially in those later window games, we lose. I mean,
I saw that. I noticed that.
So it's something like we all picked Kansas City. Ravens won. We all picked Seattle. They lost. We all picked
freaking Seattle. They messed up all my picks.
And the only reason Mike and Megan picked the Cowboys because they're homers. They probably didn't even think they were actually going to win.
Though. It don't matter. That's still
they
a W.
Didn't even actually think they were going to win that.
That's a W. Alley. It don't matter. That's a W on the road.
Listen, John, if there's one thing you will know about me is every Sunday I pick 2 teams, Philadelphia and whoever's playing Dallas. I will never, ever go against my team. I don't care what our record is. You can always put pen to paper. Philly, whoever's playing Dallas.
Well, you got double whammy this week.
I was going to say, no, at least this week you don't have to waste 2 picks. You can just waste 1 pick.
I just got one. That's one. So we already know how 3 of the picks are going to go down for Monday night. We got 1 for Philly right now and 2 for Cowboys. We'll let the 3 of you, Alex, and Ty figure it out. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us tonight here on the Sports Arena. Thank you for everybody chiming and tuning in. We really appreciate it. Shout out to my man, Rob from Rob Graphics, who has been doing phenomenal work. He did make a comment that he is moving to PA, and he said once he gets settled, he's coming on the show. And his brother is a Rams fan, but he does a lot of great work for us, not just for me, but for Sideline Sports, for the Sip Off, Magic Perspective, and we got to show him some love. Again, Monday night, it's going to be a little bit different, ladies and gentlemen, so let me clue you in on what's happening. So a 12-year friendship is going to get tested live on Monday night because Mike and I are going to be, from the start of the game all the way up to the end, we are going to be live. Megan, John, Ty, Alex, y'all can jump in at halftime, but Mike and I are going to be going at it. So as T.O. says, get your popcorn ready because it's going to be fun for me and him to go at it. And then when the Eagles win or hell freezes over and Dallas wins,
aggressive,
I will be on Say What, Say It Again Tuesday night at 8:30. Because I made a promise. I said, I'm coming to look for James Eagles Harris. And I said, I'm going to be there no matter what. So I will be on Say What, Say It Again. So you're going to see a lot of your boy all next week. But this has been a great show. Thank you. Yeah, what's up?
I have an interesting stat. I just wanted to throw this out there because I thought that this was interesting. I saw it tonight. Eric Dickerson had 240 yards through week 2 of his record-breaking season. There's an extra game. Keep that in mind this year. Derrick Henry has 240 yards through week 2 as well. So has an extra game over Eric Dickerson. Joe Mixon has 196. He's only 46 yards behind Eric Dickerson's pace. Lamar Jackson's only 47 yards behind that pace with an extra game to play as well. And Dalvin Cook's only 48 yards behind Eric Dickerson's pace with an extra game to play. So that's interesting that 4 people, as long as they keep on their pace of what they got, are on pace to break Eric Dickerson's all-time rushing record, including Lamar Jackson, a quarterback. I just thought that was an interesting stat that with this extra game, it really makes things interesting when it comes to those type of records. So,
absolutely.
it's going to be something to really watch as we get towards week 16, 17, and 18. Like, if these gentlemen that you spoke of, Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson,
Joe Mixon,
Dalvin Cook, thank you, to see if they can keep on pace. It's going to be, I'm very excited to watch this now. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. So for Sideline Sports, Cardiac Kane and Fox Sports 1340 AMs to John Shear and Finn Fanatic. Megan Price, 806 Sports, and the Sip Off and Dallas Wings representative, and my man Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, and Fantasy and Flavors, as well as the NFL Carousel and NSPN.
Waka waka.
Yeah, I know, you know. Your man Eric Wilson for the Sports Arena. We will talk to you guys on Monday, but I will see y'all tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. Peace.